All right, go live. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This is another our video that we actually posting of NEXUS spring videos. So what do we call it? So pretty much this time we decided to talk to you guys about what to do and how to effectively market your house, how to actually get the most money for it, and what goes into effective listing of your house. So either you hire a realtor or do it yourself. There are a few things to remember, very important things, and I just wanted to go over it. We've kind of like went over to, there are 4 major components that go into marketing your house. So let's start with component number 1, that's called preparation. So how do we prepare the house for a listing? Well, we're going to start with a gutter and roof cleanup. Either hire a contractor to do the cleanup of gutters and roof, or do it yourself, because over the winter the gutters have some stuff in them. Roof may have some moss, so you need to actually clean it up, make it presentable. Landscaping trim. Please guys, bring a landscaper to actually clean up your house and to trim the bushes, trim the trees, cut the grass, make it look presentable, okay? Because when the first impression, when buyers come in, they look at the house and it actually has like very sloppy landscaping. That's not a good presentation. Another thing is pressure wash. So you want to pressure wash the driveway, because the driveway over the winter covered some dirt. It's not that good presentable. You want to make it look nice and standing out. Another thing is interior cleanup. We usually hire a cleaning crew to clean up the interiors of our listings. So that's what do we do? Because we believe in actually hiring the professionals to do the work, and that's what's been going on. So if you feel like putting some sweat equity or your money equity into doing it, you can do it either yourself or hire somebody to do it for you. Another major component of home selling or home listing is pricing. Pricing, my friends, is everything. Pricing. There are actually 3 ways of pricing the house: too low, too high, and just right. We call it market value. So what happens when you say you price your home at too low? Well, you're going to have a lot of people coming knocking on your door and actually wanting to make an offer. Great, right? However, how do you know you're actually selling the house at the right price, or that you actually, this price you set, you don't leave any money on the table? So too low can be good, because you will be able to generate multiple offers most likely and get your house sold quick, but you're running a risk of actually leaving money on the table. All right, so always consult somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Another very important component is, let's say you price it too high. So what's going to happen? If you price it too high, the house is going to be sitting in the market for a while. Why? Because it's priced higher than other houses in the area. What's going to happen when you try to catch up to this price and actually, let's say, well, you know what, I come from the perspective that I can always lower the price, but it's always harder to come up in price. Well, you set it too high and you think you're going to lower it just to catch up to the buyer's expectation. However, you're risking to lose the buyer's perception of value. When potential buyers look at your house and they see it's priced too high, and then at some point you start dropping the price, they're going to think, okay, 2 things. Either something's wrong with the house because they're dropping the price, or they're desperate to sell it. And what's going to happen? If somebody's desperate, if the seller looks like is desperate to sell, they're going to come and they're going to lowball. You don't want to deal with this. All right? So how do you price the house just right at market value? What's going to happen? When you price it at market value with the proper exposure and availability of the house, you actually will get the offer at market value. And what's wrong with that? Nothing. That's great, because you get to sell your house at market value and don't leave any money on the table. Everybody walks out a winner. All right? So how do you know that the price is just right? Well, there's several components going to determining that. Some people look at Zillow and do Zillow's estimate. Well, this is not the way to do it, because Zillow has not that Zillow has not been inside your house. Bring a professional real estate broker to actually evaluate your house and see how much the house can sell for. All right, because several components go into the into this evaluation. One of those is obviously comparable pricing in the area, the features that your house has or doesn't have, the condition of the house. Everything goes into this, and it's, you know, you gotta look at it from different perspectives. All right. Another very important factor in selling the house is availability. So some homes have a tenant in it. Okay, what does it mean? If you have a tenant in a house and somebody wants to come and take a look at your house, they gotta give your tenant 24-hour notice. So in a tight inventory market that we're actually experiencing in Seattle right now, it may still be okay. However, when the other homes in the area, you know, and the people are driving around looking for homes, and there's one house requires 24-hour notice and another one doesn't, guess where the people are gonna go? Where the buyer's gonna go? They're gonna go to the one that is actually either vacant or has a easier accessibility. All right, so always keep that in mind. Another is, let's say owner lives in a house. That's a little bit easier than the tenant, because tenant requires 24 hours notice by law. With the owner, it's easier because you can tell the owner, well, you know what, I'm gonna be at your house in about 20 minutes to take a look at it. The owner may have to get the house ready for showing, you know, let's say, you know, they need to clean up, they need to wash the dishes, they need to leave the house. Well, sometimes you can be caught off guard, and it's not really, it's not a good time to show a house. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen if you try to reschedule? People still going to go to other house, or you may end up getting that people come in. However, you may actually lose a fair amount of buyers out there. All right. So vacant homes. Vacant homes are the best to sell. Why? Because they always show ready. Because when we come, we stage your house, we prep it, we make sure it looks presentable, smells fine, and it's vacant, which means anybody can come in, anybody with their realtor, and using the key box, they can come in and take a look at the property. So vacant homes actually have best availability compared to owner. Owner's still okay. With a tenant, it's a little bit more of a headache. All right, only if you actually looking to get the most money for your house. If you're actually okay with leaving some money on the table when you sell property with a tenant in it, you're just running the risk of, you know, you will probably leave some money on the table. Just keep that in mind. Another, and one of the major components is exposure. Exposure of your house. What do you get about exposure? Well, why don't you call us at this number, 206-683-4386, and we'll be able to talk to you about exposure. What do we do to make our listings stand out? What do we do to actually generate mega exposure for your house? And what do we do to actually sell your house for above market value for in the shortest amount of time with less headache to you? So that's what we actually specialize, and I wanted to take your questions if you guys have any. I see Victor said, hi, how are you? Pablo, Victor, we do very good. We glad you actually joined us. We have several people joined us. And anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to actually comment on this link or send me a DM. Or if you're actually thinking about selling your house this spring, keep in mind those features or those components that go into it. Contact us to discuss and actually have a consultation to see if it's actually going to be a good idea for you to sell your house, and if it is, what needs to be done in order to achieve it. So always, guys, feel free to reach out to us, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and everywhere else. All right, as always, guys, go crush it.